Hey there, thanks for watching. This is Christiana on the Well Behaved Wallet, and I am excited to share with you today my updated grocery routine and the results of the October grocery challenge that I did. So this was my goal. I noticed in previous months that I had been overspending in my grocery budget. That's the number one most common area for people to overspend is in groceries and eating out and food in general. So specifically in regard to groceries, I saw that I was spending about 50% more than I needed to. So my budget for groceries is around $200 a month, and I had spent $319 the previous month, so that would be September. And I was freaking out, so I was like, what can I do for this? So I set myself a challenge. I gave myself $200 in cash, and I said, if you can stick to this $200 challenge, you can reward yourself with something. And I wasn't really sure, but it was more the challenge that was interesting me. I was like, let me see if I can do this. And A, spend only in cash, and B, keep it under that $200. So that was a challenge. These are the results. I actually came in for the 31 days of October. I came in at a total of $191.86 for the entire month of October. And that included celebrating coming in under budget with a $10 bottle of rosé. So how did I do it? And what were my tactics and strategies? So these are my notes in my recap of the challenge. And this really made all the difference because these are things and elements that I'm going to incorporate going forward. And they've made all the difference. I spent less, I spent 30% less, and I ended up actually losing a little bit of weight. I lost about 2 pounds, which doesn't sound like a lot, but hey, I'll take it. So saving money and losing weight, can't complain. So here are my sort of tips, and these are elements that I used in my grocery spending challenge that I'm going to use in my grocery planning going forward. Number one, inventory what you have. Know what you already have. Sounds simple, but it is so important to know what you already have at home. So that's the first thing I did was I took stock, I did an inventory of my pantry, my fridge, and my freezer. And also sort of my fruit bowl, but there wasn't a lot in there, so that was easy. And it's not like you need to look at you need to list each and everything, but you just need to know kind of what's open, what's expiring, and what you need to use up. So for me, because I have a very small, well-edited kitchen, it was important for me, especially to check the cans and dates, because I don't use some things, and just being able to use them up before they go bad is a big thing. So that's number one, is to inventory what you have. And I even looked at my freezer, and this was important because I found a couple meals in my freezer a couple days. So that was really big. And I ended up also using some staples as well. I had some rice for a few meals, and it was funny. I found also some things that I probably shouldn't have saved, and I was happy to use up and get rid of to make more room in my freezer for other things. I had like 2 big giant gallon bags of pork broth, which the main thing that you can use with that is to make is ramen, and I don't do fancy ramen. Like if I'm eating ramen, it's at 2 in the morning and it's from a packet, so I don't do fancy ramen. Anyway, so number one, inventory what you have. This is huge. Number two, and it pains me because it's a pain sometimes, but it helps so much. Number two is use cash. Now, I had stuck to that, and I have stuck to that from October 1st till now, like mid-November, or the end of November, and that's made a big difference. So it's a pain for me because I don't love having to carry around cash. I did actually have a situation where cash was stolen from my wallet, so that's definitely a negative. On the plus side, you really get that feeling of like, that like pain receptor of like giving something over and not getting anything back. Like that's huge, and that's real. So I will take the benefits. Again, what I've seen is it's much easier to keep track if you do use cash and you're disciplined about it, right? So this is another thing, is I don't carry all of my grocery budget around with me at all times. I'll take what I need for the week and keep the rest in my binder. This does mean being a little bit more disciplined and intentional when I go out to spend. So that is number two, and that's pretty strong. And this is number 3, and this is also huge, that really helped me mentally and also kind of going forward, is to have a routine and to know exactly what you plan to buy before you go into the store. This is huge. So for me, and so what I was in the past is someone that would just kind of wander the aisles, and I would see new things and like be interested in them. And that's the way we are marketed to as consumers. It's like, oh, this is new, try this. This has nothing to do with your nutritional goals or your spending plan, but try it because it's new and it's shiny. And there are professionals who make billions of dollars. Corporations are built on this ability to make you try things that have nothing to do with your goals. So this for me is like putting blinkers on myself and saying, you know what, you know whose needs I'm going to consider when I go shopping? Mine and my family's. That's all. I'm not going to pay attention to the marketing hype. I'm not going to look at what's new. I'm not going to go let the store tell me what I need. I'm going to tell the store what I need. So that for me was one of the biggest things that I did. So for my core nutritional basics are things like veggies and produce. That's my first produce and veggies and fruit. That's my first stop, and I have my core fruit and veggies that I go in and I say, this is what I'm looking for, and that's all I'm gonna get. So for me, that's things like iceberg lettuce. I know it's not great for you, but I love it. Arugula, cucumbers, carrots, celery, bananas, apples, and pears. That's it. Those are nutritionally sound items that tend to be reasonably priced. That's it. I don't get confused with trying new items. I stick with things that I know are good for me and I know are budget friendly. So that's how I deal with the fruit and veggie aisle. The next thing I go to is protein. And this, again, I consider only my nutritional needs and then the price. So nutrition first, price second. My key core protein items are things like chicken quarters, chicken thighs, chicken legs, chicken breast is very expensive, so I stay away from that. You get the same nutritional value. For me, I like the fat's good for me, so I stick with things like that. So chicken, fish, turkey, lean ground turkey, which is cheaper than lean ground beef. So these are the 3 things I look at in the deli counter. That used to scare me. It still kind of does because I'm not like the best at working with raw meat, but it's super simple. I do it in a simple way. I just throw it in the oven, put some seasoning, done. So that's what I look for in the meat sort of not deli counter, it's whatever, the meat section. Then I go onto the pantry in which I look at tuna fish, things that are shelf stable that stay good. Sometimes I'll do like a pasta, like a whole wheat or a soybean edamame pasta is really good, and pasta sauce and salsa. That's it. I know what I'm looking for. I get the cheapest version of it, then I go away. Then I don't look at anything else. So then finally, the 4th area that I go to is kind of like the treat section. This is the area, again, where I have a very clear idea of what I want, what I'm going in for. I get it and I get the heck out, right? Studies have shown the longer you spend in a grocery store, the more you spend. So really like time yourself, get in, get out. So my treats tend to be things, and I try to choose treats that have the least sort of negative nutritional impact. And those are things for me like saltines, chips. Try to choose the most friendly nutritional value chips. But again, I don't get sucked in by all that like fancy stuff, like corn, oh, which is better? No, I know it works for me. And then I get out. So again, saltine, chips, and then I'll also, because I'm a reformed sugar addict, I have a sweet tooth that I very rarely indulge, but when I do, I do. And I tend to choose sugar-free things that will have less of a negative impact on me. So I go for sugar-free things, like I'll get some brownie mix, I'll make my own brownies, I'll get some sugar-free cake mix, sugar-free cookies, and then I'll treat myself very rarely to like a pint of Halo Top or something, or some Cool Whip that I'll like, whatever, it doesn't matter. And things like Jell-O, like sugar-free Jell-O is also another treat. Now these treats, I say very rarely, but I do tend to indulge in them, probably more than I should. But again, I know what I'm getting, I know what works for me, and then I get out. So this has been a huge game changer for me, is knowing in my mind what I'm getting, sticking with the basics, having a core grocery routine that I follow, and then getting out. And that really helps me stay on target, on task, stay healthy, and stay committed to my financial goals. Because again, I am not being marketed to. The store doesn't tell me what I need. I tell the store what I need, and I get what I need, and I get the heck out. So this has really helped me so much in staying under my budget. For groceries, this is my updated, renewed grocery routine. Also, we just got a new Aldi in our area, and that's been huge because Aldi has a lot of store brands that are super good quality and I would say are at least 30 to 40% cheaper than something you buy at like a ShopRite or something. So the danger there is to buy more because it's cheaper. So I try to avoid that. I see that a tendency and I try to avoid it again by sticking to my budget in cash. That's huge. So this is my updated grocery routine. This has helped me save money and lose a little weight. If any of these are very basic tips. I am positive that you have heard them all before, but I'm here to tell you that they 100% work. Have your grocery routine, have a set pattern that you follow, and don't let anything else sway you from that. Your goals are more important than the store's goals. Who matters more? You do, not the store, you. Okay, so those are my tips. Let me know if you have any questions or let me know how you save money. I know some of you have some really, really, really great grocery money saving tips, so leave them in the comments below. Again, and as always, I thank you for watching and I hope you'll keep watching. Bye.